Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I am Mick Alfany. It's Friday. We made it through another week. Once again, you are a champion. You made it through another week, made some money. You did some good business, expanded a little bit, kept yourself balanced. That's why you're legendary. All right. Give all the glory and credit to you. So this article here is from finbold.com. They've been doing a great job. Make sure you check them out. Give them some traffic. They have a lot of good articles. This article is titled XRP's Future Unveiled. 5 Possible Scenarios Following the SEC Case. This was very interesting. A very interesting article here. Once again, I hope you're all doing well out there and ready to have an absolutely fantastic weekend. All right. So it begins here. Following a major win for both blockchain company Ripple and the cryptocurrency industry as a whole, in the case against the United States SEC, a crypto analyst has detailed possible aftermath for the token at its center, XRP. Says here, Crypto Insight UK, sorry about that, I had to pause to read that name, really decipher it in my mind, has listed 5 potential outcomes for the XRP token. Although acknowledging that, quote, we really don't know what happens next for XRP. I agree with that. Right now we're just making measurements and, we're trying to make educated guesses. And I think we understand the catalysts and trajectories. And what we're waiting for is for a lot of those catalysts to manifest. And once we start to see those catalysts manifest, we'll understand the explosiveness that the next leg up may have. Right. That's how I look at it. But let's keep going here. So that was unquote. It says in a tweet shared on July the 20th. Then here's number one. Number one possibility is a mini bull run. It says as the first possibility, the crypto expert singled out a mini bull run, which could pull some altcoins up, quote, catching up to some Fibonacci extensions, unquote, that Bitcoin and Ethereum reached in their last cycle. For XRP, wow, this would mean reaching towards $10 to $15 before a large correction. I would I would think next range, high range would probably be $3 to $5. Then after that, 8 to 10, right? And I think you'll see corrections in both of those. People are going to take insane profits at that point. They're going to hold some. I think that's the consensus. People are going to hold some. But I think they're going to take some good profits. As they have been doing, right? So you'll see some good volatility there, but I could be wrong, and this definitely could be possible. $10 to $15. Nobody knows. All right, I'm not trying to upset people. I know a lot of people don't like price predictions and such, but I just find it interesting. That's all. So that first one, mini bull run, I think that's one of the how do I put it? Like floods, right? There's going to be a multitude of floods as different catalysts happen, and then if and when the central banks come in. That's the tsunami, right? I try to make that clarification. I don't see everything happening all at once, but I see if there's going to be different explosions at different times. I think that's reasonable. So number 2, a small pump. Says another option is for XRP to, quote, have a small pump off the news and to then perform in line with the rest of the market, pumping into the bull market. All right. Of which I think is starting now anyway. So within a year. So about a year's time range here, unquote, with a similar price projections as above. Okay. I sort of see XRP untethering itself from Bitcoin in a way. At least that's my hope. But if you look at the explosion between XRP going up, XLM going up, they've been doing very well. Even when everything else goes down, even when everything else was stuffed down by the DXY, as of recent, we still saw XRP and XLM go up, right? So I think there's a little bit of decoupling, untethering going on, but I don't know if that'll last. We'll see, right? So number 3 option here, possibility, says further pump. It says as a third case option, the analyst believes XRP could follow this first scenario, quote, then retrace and have a further pump into the next business cycle top, unquote, with the price potentially climbing to $10 to $15. Oh, this person really believes it's going at that $10 to $15 range. I'll take it, by the way. I'll take it. I put no limitations on XRP at this particular time. Wherever it goes to, I'm satisfied with. I just know it's going higher. That's how I personally feel, not financial advice, and I'm not trying to convince you. That's just personally how I feel. So now, it says here, then dropping to $2 to $4. Wow, that's a heck of a drop. Well, they're expecting a very significant drop. I would think from $10 to $15, you probably see a correction to, going by what I've seen in the past from the last bull cycle, from all of the different bank coins that really pump, including Cello. Cello really comes to mind. It really comes to mind. Look how high Cello went, and then look how low Cello went. Then it went high again. So I would think, just going off of that, combining all the information that I can accumulate in my mind right now, I think from the $10 range, it could probably go down to $6. $15, I think you're looking at it could go down to like $8 or so, $8, $9. I think that's reasonable. You let me know. I'm just throwing numbers out there, right? Doesn't mean it's going to happen. It says, and then increasing again, this time to, oh, wow. I like this person's article. This is a good article. Check it out. This says, then increasing again, this time to $20 to $30. I like the sound of that. And I could definitely see that happening. Yeah. Listen, the catalysts are so powerful when it comes to XRP. The potentiality is actually mind blowing. Like I said, right now it's just about them coming to pass, and then we'll see what happens. It says here. So listen, they have a number 4 here. This is a great article. It's called Complete Moon Mission. Number 5, double tapping highs. I'm not going to go there. You want to see those two? Check out finbowl.com. Give them some traffic. This is a great article. They have a lot more here. Okay. They got a nice little chart down there. So listen, let's move to another article here. So this article here is from coindesk.com, and it is titled Wholesale CBDC Would Improve Cross-Border Payments. French Central Bank Tests Show. So let's scroll down here, see what they're talking about. The French Central Bank has determined that its wholesale central bank digital currency, wCBDC, would improve cross-border payments, settlement finality, and security. This is what I've been saying for a long time. The banks lack security. I've been trying to cover it as much as I can. They've been getting hacked left and right. There's all types of different frauds going on. Allegedly, customers complaining, customers not getting their money, customers complaining that the banks are not following certain laws. It's just a mess, right? When you really look deep into the banking industry. So they're looking for ways to remedy that while also saving capital and being able to make a lot of capital. Like I said, I think they're going to go bonkers with staking, things like that. Once these banks get involved, there'll be nothing off the table as far as how they make money. And just like I do, they like to make money in every way possible, right? So this is very good for the bank coins that will be propping up these CBDC systems. There's a lot of capital that could flow through us. XLM, XRP, Algorand, they all have a cadre of banks. But let's continue on here. So it says, quote, through these experiments, the Bank of France shows the operational feasibility and practical implementation of 3 models it has conceptualized for issuing wCBDC directly on DLT, distributed ledger technology. We're in the driver's seat. It's just a matter of time. TikTok. I mean, people are having fun now. They haven't seen anything yet. Just wait. Everything is lining up so well. It's almost scary how well everything's lining up. It says, okay, unquote, let's keep going. The central bank said, adding that different types of DLT were used to test applications in asset tokenization and the improvement of cross-border transactions. My mind right now is honestly screaming quant. Right next to quant, XRP. You know that they're deep in Europe. Those two companies been running wild in Europe. Third in Europe, my mind is telling me Algorand is involved, possibly. I'm just throwing it out there because I see how much business they're doing over there and that they're actually loved and respected over there. We know Algorand's respected. Hey, Silvio McCauley just received an award, a few awards over there. Correct me if I'm wrong. Ripple, we know, is doing great business around Europe, right? And helping a lot of different infrastructure tests be run. And we know Quant is deep in Europe. That's why they come to mind. This is very good. Let's continue on here. Bank of France began experiments on wholesale CBDC in March 2020. It conducted a second stage of experiments by mid-2022. Let me pause there. And another reason why Quant comes to mind is because because of that partnership they have with Sia Chain, Sia Partners. There's hundreds upon hundreds of banks that that stand to possibly use Quant technologies because of that partnership. So that they're always going to come to my mind, right? So it says here, other experiments include projects with the Monetary Authority of Singapore, and who is walking hand in hand with the MAS right now because of their new CBDC platform, Ripple, XRP, XRPL, right? All right, let's continue on. Swiss National Bank, an innovation hub of the Bank for International Settlements. We know who they like. They like Stellar. They like Ripple, right? And a few others. So now let's scroll down here. Oh, we got a lot of pop-ups here again. Let's click this off here. Let's see if it goes away. All right, let's scroll down now. It says the experiments have shown a wholesale CBDC would, quote, be key for native digital assets and tokenized assets that fall under the category of unlisted financial assets and which cannot currently be settled, unquote, according to the bank. Keep in mind also, I want to add in there, wholesale CBDCs. This is where we're getting into those consistent trillions. If we can begin moving a modicum of that, it starts little, and then we build from there, right? That's key to those prices going up and achieving what I consider to be acceptable volatility like gold, right? That's very acceptable. Gold hovers around a certain range. It's been between that $1,900 range and $2,000, which it probably will explode above 2,000 at some point soon in the future. I'm not sure what it's doing right now, but it's acceptable. No one complains about the gold volatility. It's a beautiful thing, right? So that's really where you want these to go, to ranges that are acceptable for the central banks. And if you have that consistency of money, you will see that, right? Which would negate the need. First of all, the speed of finality, settlement, all of that good stuff would negate volatility anyway. You could do it that way. But also just outright, volatility won't be something that at the higher prices that anybody's going to be concerned with, in my humble opinion. I don't think we've ever seen anything like what's going to happen in the future if everything goes according to plan, that is. So now, let's continue on here. This is a very good article here on Coindesk.com. Once again, check them out. Read this little tidbit here. It says, among policy takeaways, the French central bank found that issuing a wholesale CBDC would complement a retail CBDC, such as a digital euro. I won't say anything there. Interoperability for seamless data exchange, international cooperation, and public-private partnerships for a more inclusive global CBDC framework remain priorities, the banks said. They just dropped so much on us there. It's unbelievable. Time is coming. I feel very good about these things. So now, little random chapter here. I hope everyone is able to achieve peace of mind. Peace is something very important. We know that the world can be filled with chaos every day. If you own your own business, if you go into a job, it can be very chaotic. So we have to pull our energy sometimes in a different direction other than that chaotic direction that the world is pulling us in. So it's very important at times to take breaks. One of our legendary subscribers, Keith, brought this to mind. It's very important to take breaks from things, find peace, find happiness, make yourself happy. And sometimes you have to do that. I don't want to say in a forceful way, but you have to really pull your energies that way and set life up where you can have peace. And everybody finds joy and peace in different ways. You have to find that for yourself, right? But it could be something like reading a good book, having a little bit of silence during the day, meditation. Some people like to work out. It's different for every person, but that balance must be achieved nonetheless so that you remain healthy. This is not advice, but being healthy mentally, spiritually is very important. I mean, however you want to phrase it, but that peace does something great for individuals. And it's a very purifying and regenerative thing at times, right? So I hope that all of you out there are able to find your peace and doing what's necessary to achieve balance within yourselves. Okay. All right. Alpha Name hopes the best for you. So now let's move on to another article here. We're not going to go through too many today. I'm going to cover this one here. All right. Now, I did put this in the members only section yesterday so that people had a chance to read this ahead of time. This is from the cryptobasic.com, and it is titled Link to COO reveals plans to sell tokenized private equity for XRP. Scroll down here. It says XRP has attracted significant interest following Judge Annalisa Torres' declaration that it is not a security. It says in an interview with Thinking Crypto's Tony Edward, Indoso disclosed that Link2 is working on a tokenized private equity proof of concept, which will use XRP as the only payment method. Wow. According to Indoso, the pilot project will see Link2 set up a new special purpose vehicle, SPV. This SPV will be firewalled from the rest of Link2's other SPVs and main database. After successfully setting up the SPV, Indoso said Link2 would add and tokenize new assets. Quote, we're going to have that SPV custody of PolySign so that we can have an independent third-party custodian, unquote, Indoso was quoted as saying. Furthermore, Link2's COO said that the company would offer the product to other broker-dealers. XRPL and XRP utility continues to get stronger and expand. I love every second of this. This is what I want for all bank coins. I mean, Algorand is just running away with things like this. But you have the exponential increasing in companies utilizing expanding utility on the XRPL. Beautiful thing, right? You have that also going on with Stellar. So now let's continue on here. It says per Endorso, they spell a name two different ways. I'm just going to take it that's a typo. Per Endoso, these broker-dealers must use PolySign or other trusted digital asset custodians. Interestingly, Endoso said the tokenized assets will be sold for XRP. Quote, we're going to sell those tokenized linked to SPV assets for XRP. We are going to get paid in XRP for those tokenized assets. I think you're going to see a lot of this around the world, as I do believe that there's the potential for XRP to become a well-priced, I'll put it that way, a well-priced, respected, international, or I don't know the other phrasing for that. Is it supranational? But it supersedes most international currencies. International currency and a very safe store of value once you get to those higher prices. I think a lot of people are going to get their paychecks in XRP. So the legendary Pay Me in XRP that is on this channel, and everybody that leaves that comment, I think is telling a lot of truth when they say that. Pay me in XRP, pay me in XLM. I think that they are the way of the future if everything continues to go on this trajectory, right? You can move that capital anywhere, the liquidity at any time, where a lot of other currencies are going to have a problem with liquidity. A lot of currencies around the world are going and beginning to have a problem with their value being greatly diminished. That's just the truth. So this is a big thing happening here. So it says, meanwhile, Endoso commented on Ripple's victory against the SEC. All right, that we don't need to go into. They have a lot of other sections here. The next section is titled Significance of Ripple's Win. All right, and they talk a little bit about on-demand liquidity. That's on the cryptobasic.com if you want to hear the rest of that. So now, let's move here. I have a little bit of Stellar news somewhere hiding amongst these these articles. So let's go here. All right. This is from newsbtc.com, and it is titled Stellar Ripple Effect. What's next for Stellar Lumens XLM? Let's see what they have to say about this. It says the comeback of Stellar Lumens price keeps going on. In the last 24 hours, XLM has risen by another 15%. Bringing Ripple competitors' price in line with XRP. They are not competitors. They work hand in hand together. Stellar and Ripple have been on so many panels together. One's focused on allegedly banking the unbanked, even though they're working with Franklin Templeton, Wisdom Tree, Bankhaus von der Haidt, MoneyGram, and all the. This is what they say. I guess that's banking the unbanked, I suppose. But anyway, the one is focused in this area. You know, obviously XRP is focused on wholesale CBDCs, trillions of dollars, banks and such like that, just like Quant, right? And then you have Algorand sort of in the middle. It's Algorand's just doing everything. So anyway, they're not competitors. They're all on the same team. All right. I mean, but you can believe what you want. It says here, indeed, both tokens have risen by close to 65% at this stage since the summary judgment in Ripple's legal battle with the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission. And that's another reason why you're going to see a lot of this profit taking, because people are up. They bought at a low. They are up majorly. They made some good capital. So you expect this I expect this volatility. It says here, and it hasn't been too much, honestly. It hasn't been too much. It says, remarkably, the relationship between Stellar Lumens XLM and Ripple's XRP has been an intriguing tale of correlation and decoupling. As the market reacted to the recent developments of the Ripple SEC battle, XLM follows suit. They always go up together. There's a reason for that, a good reason for that. And I think you might see an MBDC, MCBDC if Ripple begins to work with MoneyGram again. XRP will move that major money, and I think they'll use XLM for what they've been using it for. And those utilities will only expand from there. They work hand in hand together very well. So anyway, let's continue on here. It says XLM follows suit, experiencing a remarkable price surge. However, as the broader market conditions cast their shadows, the question arises, can Stellar Lumens maintain its newfound independence and continue its upward trajectory? The correlation between XLM and XRP. Says it's no secret that Stellar Lumens and XRP share many similarities in their blockchain technologies and use cases. We all know why, right? And then they go into a little bit about Jeb McCaleb. So this connection has often resulted in XLM mirroring the price movements of XRP, which is another thing, which is why as XRP rises, XLM will also rise. We saw it in the last bull run. XRP went high, XLM went high. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. Oh, man, it was looking good. If you know where we got in with XLM at the beginning of the channel, you look where XLM went at the peak of that bull run. All right. So let's continue on. So anyway, what I'm saying is that always happens, and you see it happening now. So as XRP goes a little higher, you're going to see XLM go a little higher. That's going to get interesting very quickly. And that's minus any true catalyst that Stellar may drop or BPV may release or Stronghold or EveryNet or LightNet. Who knows? They're all moving forward. There can always be a catalyst dropped into the field, and that could also have a little bit of an effect. Maybe not. I mean, it's a 50-50 chance at this point, right? When it comes to catalysts. So now let's continue on here. It says one factor for this may have been his partnership with MoneyGram, which yielded the innovative B2B service called MoneyGram Access. This service enables the conversion of the stablecoin USDC into cash worldwide through MoneyGram's branch network, tapping into Stellar Ledger for seamless execution. This strategic collaboration has not only bolstered Stellar's use case, but also may catalyze its recent surge in price. With the integration of Access into various applications and fiat ramps, XLM's demand and utility is substantially boosted. For instance, Honeycoin's app's integration of Access for straightforward cash out in multiple African countries and the United Kingdom might have contributed to Stellar's outperformance relative to XRP in recent days. There's a lot going on. A lot. I think the future is very bright. So now they have some charts down here. Stellar Lumens price outlook. All right, we're going to move on from there. I think so far everything's looking good, in my humble opinion. So now we're going to go on here to this article on bncrypto.com, and it's titled, Latest Crypto Regulation Bill Calls for CFTC and SEC Collaboration. It says here, another crypto regulation bill submitted. The bill was submitted by the House Committee on Agriculture Chairman Glenn Thompson and French Hill, Chairman of the Subcommittee on Digital Assets. Congressman Hill said that the framework would, quote, protect consumers and keep innovation in the United States, unquote, before adding, quote, this legislation would not only have prevented FTX. Okay, they go into a little FTX news. Let me say this. Listen, I know people want to write Gary Gensler off. You saw that he's trying to get more money. I don't know if they shot him down yet on that or not, but he was trying to raise more money to go after the rest of the crypto companies. The guy is very, very upset. We've seen that reported. So just listen, if you have an injured lion, if you haven't finished that lion off, keep your eye on that injured lion. That's what I say. So any company that doesn't have the utility of XRP and is not in complete clarity because of the SEC the SEC case ruling, I would stay prepared. That's what I would do. I would stay prepared. And, Congress, obviously, they're dragging their feet. We'll see what happens. As moreover, the crypto regulation bill aims to clarify definitions and covers digital asset exemptions. It also clarifies how crypto companies can register with financial regulators, the CFTC and SEC. Furthermore, the bill aims to amend the archaic U.S. securities laws. Oh, that's interesting. So that the SEC must consider, quote, innovation as a factor when taking action. They don't want to do that. So, we'll see how all this works out. But as of now, I'm happy to see that things are moving forward. So now we're going to close out with a little bit of gold news. So this article here is from kitco.com, one of our favorite sites here. And it's titled Central Banks Flex. Now, you don't want me to flex. I like this. This is my workout, one of my workout hoodies, right? I don't want to flex and rip the arms off this shirt. I'm just I'm just kidding, everybody. All right, let's get to the news here. So it says central banks flex gold market muscle. All right, let's see what they're talking about here. So spot gold fell $43.38 per ounce, a decline of 2.21% in June, close to close the month at $1,919.35. For the first 6 months of 2023, the gold bullion price increased $95 or 5.23%. This was despite the euphoria in the equity markets, with the S&P 500 index returning 15.91% in the first half, its second best start to a year since 2000. Gold's first half strength also defied rate hike expectations, a flattish U.S. dollar, and net gold selling from CFTC and ETF holders. Gold gained largely because central banks were buying more. I think there's a typo there. Then offset a generally bearish outlook among investment funds. The surge in equity markets occurred in the face of recession concerns, a flat earnings outlook, rising expectations of a terminal rate for U.S. Federal Reserve rate hikes, a regional banking crisis, and political stress over the U.S. debt ceiling. Hedging behavior by investment funds fueled the stock market's rise. Investment funds had built up substantial left-tail hedges to protect against losses from the potential banking crisis, debt ceiling default, and hard landing scenario for the U.S. economy. As each anticipated crisis was averted, the investment funds unwound their hedges, which triggered capitulation or quote, stop in buying. The result, market surges and light positioning snowball into, quote, fear of missing out, FOMO, trades among investors. Listen, a lot of what happened with gold were the banks going down. I think that's one of the reasons, not just the central banks buying up a ton of gold, that does add to it as well. A lot of people still don't trust banks. So they still have their money on gold cards, holding a little bit of gold, right? So you can't take that out of the equation. That's highly significant. And if we have more banks that go down, and they're not doing well right now, unfortunately, then you will see flight from banks again. There's still a mass of deposit flights from banks. People are either holding cash or they're going into precious metals. And once again, if those banks go down, you're going to see deposit flight. You're going to see people going to gold again, and that gold price can skyrocket once again, maybe even go a little bit higher. We will see. It says we believe that while the probability of a U.S. recession in the coming year, they already said I'm not going to go into the recession talk again. We all know about that. It says here, gold bullion, tale of two hands. Going to a little gold bullion talk. Gold prices held up well in the first half of 2023, despite the frothy state of the equity markets and renewed rate hike expectations and CFTC ETF selling. Gold has remained above its 200-day moving average and bounced off the 61.8% Fibonacci retracement level. At the same time, CFTC gold non-commercial long positioning has been range-bound, and short positions have collapsed to 3-year lows. All indicate a corrective or profit-taking action within a long-term bull trend. Gold price dynamics in the first half of 2023 can be seen as a battle between two market players, central banks and investment funds. I concur with that. Central banks and sovereigns are large entities with a long-term strategic approach to owning gold. A lot of individuals are like that. They are not overly sensitive to price fluctuations and tend to buy gold during periods of weakness or pullbacks. They are strong hands in the market. Investment funds are price sensitive and short term in focus. They tend to react quickly to market variables rather than focusing on long term goals and are quick to take profits when prices rise. They are the weak hands. I haven't heard that term in so long. The weak hands in the market. I used to hear that a lot when I was in the stock market. Oh man, there was so many people throwing those words back and forth. Strong hands and weak hands. Now a lot of phrases have been upgraded. Now people just say diamond hands, you know. So anyway, we're going to stop there. Everything's looking good as far as I'm concerned when it comes to gold long term. Okay. So now that you have that information, what are you going to do with it? I know what I'm going to do with it. Have a fantastic weekend, everyone. So until next time, let's get to the money.